What's going on, everybody? Spaceballs here. Welcome back to another Skylanders video. Alright everyone, today we're going to talk about building a free-to-play PvP defense, because I know it can be tricky, because for me it was very tricky, but once you kind of get the hang of what you're looking for and what you need to build that defense, it's actually not so bad. Before we get into this one, I want to talk about the free code that Skylanders is doing. The actual code is Skylanders, but I'm going to make this very easy for you guys, and I'm going to link it down below. There is a direct link. If you click on it from the device that you play Skylanders on, it will actually bring you straight to the page, which will open up the game, and then in your mailbox you will have 5 free summons. So that code is linked down below. Enjoy. And also at the end of this video, we are going to do my legendary summon, because it's been 60 days since I've been playing the game, and today I received my second legendary scroll. So we'll do that at the end of this video, because I know I always do them on Twitch, so sometimes you guys miss out. So stay tuned all the way to the end to see what we get from our legendary scroll. So let's get right into this one here. First up, let's pull up the Skylanders. Now, the thing with your first defense is you're kind of just going to use whatever you're building to clear content with, and that's what I was doing. So my first defense actually was Barbella lead, Stink Bomb, Stealth Elf, and Flashwing. Now, as a free-to-play player, within like a month, or I want to say about 4 to 6 weeks of playing the game, you should be able to build at least one legendary at that point. And I honestly recommend making that legendary that you build PvP related, as in arena defense related. Because honestly, you can clear all of the PvE content in this game without a legendary. I've done it myself. I've seen many other content creators do it, so I know it is completely possible. And you do not need any legendaries to clear the PvE content in this game. So what I would recommend you guys doing for your first legendary is actually not like building something for PvE content, as in like Boom Bloom, something along those lines. I would recommend building something like Pit Boss, Kingpin, even Ambush, something that's going to really help you in the PvP side of things. Because once you clear all the content, that's actually where you're going to end up in a game like this. This game is very PvP, heavy, and that's where the end game content really is. So for me, I built Pit Boss and Flare Wolf, and both of them are so good in Arena. And now I have thrown them on my defense, and I'm actually getting like so many more defense wins than I was ever getting before. And to be honest, these aren't even like the best Skylanders for defense. Well, Flare Wolf is. Pit Boss is really not that good for defense, to be honest, and that's just because of his AI, and that goes for a lot of Skylanders in this game. They look like good defense units, but because of their AI, they actually are not as good as others, and Pit Boss falls into that category. But being I have Pit Boss built, I throw him on my defense, and he actually seems to be doing pretty well. I do get a lot of defense wins, but now I'm going to start really focusing on my defense, and that's why I wanted to make this video with you guys today. Now, I know there's a lot of evasion teams out there, and that's where a lot of people go with their defenses, as in they build Sprocket, Gear Shift, Robro, and then some type of healer on the team. And then if they don't have Robro, they just use another tech damage dealer. Now, I could easily build that defense, but I don't want to jump on the same train as everybody else. So I've been kind of thinking outside the box here. Now, I am going to build my Eruptor. The first thing I tell you guys for arena defense, the new Sky Arena, Eruptor is hands down, even though he's a rare, one of the best defense units in the game. Even though he's a rare and he has low base stats, he is still a pain to deal with. Sometimes, he will literally turn the fight around, and I will just be screaming in my head because I can't get rid of the Eruptor. Between his Provoke, his Shield, and his defense buff, and then if the person has like a Flashwing or a Gorilla Driller on the team, it just keeps healing him, and it makes him such a headache to deal with. So I'm actually working on my Eruptor for my main arena defense, and my Sky defense as well. So Eruptor is just one of those defense, easy build Skylanders that you definitely want to start building, especially for the PvP content. And I promise you, he will definitely help your defense. And a lot of people probably won't even hit you if you have him with the right team synergy. Now, the next one on my list that I was looking at, strictly for defense, now I do have, Head Rush, I do have Chop Chop, and I do have them super boosted once. But honestly, Chop Chop, even though they kind of fixed his AI, he's still not that great. And sometimes he won't put up his Provoke on the first turn. And that is really a problem when it comes to Chop Chop, because then he defense breaks himself. And for a tank, it just becomes him not being tanky. And then if you're using something like a Pit Boss, like I do, it just strips his invincibility. And then he's really useless. Honestly, Pit Boss has been such a savior for me with all of these, Chop Chops, Eruptors. Because Pit Boss literally strips all of their stuff off of them. I know he's just the one Skylander strip, but let me tell you how strong he is. I have no issues with these Kingpins anymore, because Kingpin is probably one of the most common defense Skylanders in the game right now. And with my Pit Boss, I'd literally strip him every single time, so he hasn't been a problem for me anymore. And before I built my Pit Boss, Kingpin was such a headache for me. But I do know a lot of us free-to-play players aren't going to have these Chop Chops, these Head Rushes, and even Pit Boss for that matter. I know Pit Boss was a banner, same with Chop Chop. But just keep in mind, I used keys to super boost my Pit Boss. I did not pull 6 copies of him. I actually used all of my resources to get him maxed super boosted. And as a free-to-play player, you'll be able to do 1 or 2 Skylanders within like your first, 60 to 90 days of playing this game. So you really want to, make sure you're picking the right 2 legendaries to max out. So to be honest, I'm probably going to end up going with Heroics. Now, T-Rex is going to be the second Skylander I build for my main defense, because even the defense I have now, I don't consider it my main defense. It's just what I have built, so I kind of just threw it on my defense, and it has been working well. But honestly, it's not by choice. Like, by choice, I'm going to have Eruptor and T-Rex. Now, I'm not going to have them on the same team. This is more geared towards Sky Arena defense. In my opinion, the best thing you can do in Sky Arena is have a provoke in your front line, like Eruptor. Then in the back line on your first slot, have something like T-Rex. So when they kill your Eruptor, T-Rex will come in next, and that will give you back-to-back provokes, and that actually makes it really hard or just really annoying for someone to get through your Sky Tower defense, because you're literally going into 2 provokes, and then if you have a healer, paired up with that provoke in the front line, he's going to consistently heal that provoke, and it just gets really annoying. And T-Rex is so strong as he is, and then paired with another healer, just makes him so hard to deal with. If you do have a provoke, make sure you have him ruined with a ton of effect resistance. That is the most important thing. You want to make sure he resists the strip from Pit Boss, Blastermind, whatever it is, Dive Clops. If you have enough resistance on him, he will resist most of the time, and then they won't be able to just, blow through your defense. So T-Rex is another really good candidate for your defense in general. Now, you don't need to use 2 provokes on the same defense, so on your regular arena defense can be a little bit different than your Sky Arena defense, because you only need to use 1, and if you have T-Rex built, you definitely want to use him over Eruptor, just for the fact that he's heroic. His kit is a little bit better, and he does have better base stats. Some would say that Eruptor might be a little bit better, but that comes down to personal opinion. In my honest opinion, I think T-Rex would outshine Eruptor by just a little bit, especially because of his base stats and the fact that he's heroic and Eruptor is a rare. Now, going down here, Barbella is another really good candidate for arena defense. Now, I know as a free-to-play player, it might be really hard for you guys to get these Skylanders and get them super boosted, but I'm gearing this video towards, playing for 6 weeks, 90 days plus, because most of us have been playing since the beginning. Now, I know if you just start the game, your main focus is going to be PvE content, and that should not change. Make sure you build your main team first. What I'm trying to do with this video is give you guys Skylanders to build after you're clearing all of the PvE content, and you're getting your free legendary scrolls, so you're summoning some legendaries, you're stocking up all your resources, and you're just kind of farming with your main team. And you're looking through your box, and you're saying, all right, well, I have this super boosted a couple times, I have this one a couple times, because eventually, as you play the game, you are going to start getting these heroics super boosted. I know we're going through a lot of heroics here, because I do feel like heroics are one of the best choices for arena defense. We also have Slam Bam here. I think he's super underrated. This man is a machine. He is just like Kingpin. He will keep up a permanent freeze on the enemy team, and he also brings a provoke to the table. So again, really good for Sky Arena defense. You can have him in the front line, the back line, especially if you don't have Kingpin. And he's going to be much easier to super boost than Kingpin is, because he is heroic keys. Kingpin is legendary keys. So again, another really good Skylander for arena defense, and really good for Sky Tower as well. And it's really going to come down to, what you have super boosted. But you should, again, if you're playing for, 2-3 months, you should have enough resources to choose a couple of these heroics and be able to max them out. And I do recommend maxing out a couple of heroics over just doing 1 legendary, in my opinion. Now, eventually, when I can, I do want to max out Tip, and that's because Tip has such a low mana cost. When he's maxed out on defense, he has a provoke, and he reduces the damage so much. He has a critical down by 40%, evasion rate down by 40%, attack down by 30%, reduces the incoming damage by 30% with his provoke, and then also has a damage down by 20%. And his mana cost is really, really low. 2 mana cost here, 1 mana cost here. So if you have Tip, I feel like he is super underrated at this point. Eventually, you will see Tip in a ton of arena defenses. I do feel that arena defense and even Sky Tower defense is not necessarily, based off of how much damage you're doing, just more off of survivability and how many turns, you can take. Because most of the time on offense, people are going to be bringing in, a glass cannon kind of team, or they're only going to be bringing in 1 damage dealer. And if you're able to, snipe that damage dealer or just keep that damage dealer under control, your defense is probably going to walk away with a win, most of the time. Now, Chill is another really good one for defense. I do think Slam Bam outshines him in tenfold, and that's because Chill does have double rings. Now, you can make Chill pretty tanky with the right runes, but again, he is a rare, Slam Bam is an heroic. So if you're choosing between, Chill and Slam Bam, I'm going to go with Slam Bam every single time. But again, when you're looking at Sky Tower and you need to fill all these teams, 3 teams of 6, Chill is a very good placeholder for one of those teams. And even Gorilla Drilla, you can build some, premiums to fill the role of some of your Sky Tower teams. Dino could be another one that would be really good for Sky Tower if you have a max super boosted. I personally wouldn't waste too many resources on super boosting him, but being that I almost have him max super boosted, I could easily build him and throw him in my Sky Tower defense as well. He seems pretty good. Again, he has a provoke. Just keep in mind, you don't need that many provokes. For Sky Arena, you need 2. For regular Arena, you just need 1. So don't go too crazy on building, all these provokes, because you won't get as much use out of them as you think. It's good to go with something that has a provoke, and then something that has a heal, a defense buff, a shield, something along those lines just to protect that provoke even more. Those are some of the best defenses in my opinion. Now, of course, the evasion defense is one of the most popular ones, so we'll go over that really quick here as well, which is Sprocket, Gear Shift Lead, Robo for damage, and then usually like a Flashwing, Spotlight, Light Flashwing, any kind of strong healer paired with it. So if you have those super boosted, that would be a really good defense for you to run as well. Another one, Wildfire, really, really good for defense. This man paired with Light Flashwing is such a pain in the booty, let me tell you, because Light Flashwing keeps shielding him and healing him, and then him with his defense buff and his provoke just gets so annoying. I actually got soloed by a Light Flashwing and a Wildfire the other day. I didn't get soloed, but it went the whole, 50 plus turns, whatever it is, and I ended up losing because of it, just because I couldn't do enough damage to take them out. So that is a good example of a stall team. Wildfire and Light Flashwing, very good for that. Now, again, Jetvac could be a decent defense Skylander. I don't really like him too much on defense myself, and again, that comes down to AI. I'm not saying he's bad, and I do see a lot of people using him, but I do feel like he needs the right runes, really, really strong runes at that fact. And unless you just have him max super boosted like I do, I probably wouldn't even consider it. Like, he's not the Skylander I would just start dumping, keys into. But if you have him max super boosted, he would definitely be a good Skylander to throw in your defense. And now I know I'm not talking about too many legendaries here, and that's just because if you have a legendary max super boosted and he is a defense Skylander, then of course you're going to throw him in your defense like Head Rush, Drobot, Mysticat. Of course, if you have them, Zulu, Kingpin, if you have them max super boosted, they're definitely going to be in your defense. There is no question about that. I wanted to keep this video more geared towards free-to-play players and building a free-to-play defense and giving you some free-to-play options. And now the thing about it is, and the thing I want you guys to keep in mind, is when you're building your first PvP defense, you shouldn't be building it your first month of playing. You should literally just be using the main team that you're using to clear content. PvP defense is something you should not be worrying about right away. It's something you should be worrying about, 2 to 3 months into playing this game, and then you can kind of start like thinking what arena defense you want to build. Because honestly, with your main team, you should be able to maintain the top, 2 to 300 by just using your main team like I'm doing here. Now, yes, recently I did switch Flare Wolf and Pit Boss, but before I did that, I was literally using Stealth Elf and Flashwing. I've recently just made this change, and I've been playing for, I believe, 60 plus days now. And after you're playing for that amount of time, you are going to have the resources to start building other Skylanders. So that's kind of where I'm gearing this video. After getting all your free summons and stuff, eventually you are going to have these resources. So you building, your defense will be a lot easier than building it early on. So just remember that, guys. Don't rush into your PvP defense. Take it easy, clear all the content first, and then come back and look at your box and say, okay, these are the units I want to put on my defense, and then you can slowly build them. And I promise you, your defense will just get stronger and stronger. And like you can see here, we're not getting a ton of wins, but we are getting wins sometimes. When I was using my main team, I wasn't getting any wins, but it was enough to keep me in the top 300-400. And when you first start playing, that's really all you need. Guns finally got a win on me. Shout out to you, Guns. I love you, brother. And now with Sky Tower, the one thing I can recommend about this and defense-wise is just worry about your main team first. Don't worry about the 2 other teams. Just don't worry about it. Focus on your main team. Get that up and running. Get that where you want it. And then you can go down to the 2nd and the 3rd team. But don't rush trying to make, 18 Skylanders. Trust me, it's not going to work out. Focus on the main team first, then go to your 2nd team, and then go to your 3rd team. Sky Tower, I believe, is more like, you know, late game content. Yes, we have it now, and the game's only been out for a few months, but I can promise you this is more late game content. It just doesn't feel that way because it was released, you know, early on when the game was launched. But don't think too much into this, especially now that they don't have the rewards that they had on the first, you know, tournament that came out. The first tournament, you know, every 10 battles you did, you would get a bunch of rewards. It's not like that anymore. You literally just get the rewards from, you know, climbing the tower itself. So just keep that in mind. It's not that important. I wouldn't refresh and waste gems or anything like that. Just do your 5 attacks every day. Focus on your main team. Get as high as you can. Collect those rewards, and you are good to go. So I think that covers everything I want to talk about, you know, in building your first PvP defense for now. We're going to make a series out of this. I'm going to keep going as my defense gets stronger and as I keep building my defense and as they keep coming out with Skylanders. We're going to keep going over what you should be building and, you know, Skylanders you can put on your PvP defense. I do want to make a video just on defense-based Skylanders in general like I did with the supports. We will do that soon, but for now I kind of wanted to just touch on, you know, defense in general, and I think we did that here. So now let's get into the legendary summon that I received today. And let's hope it's something new. I really want an ambush at this point. I really wanted Boom Bloom for a long time, but I'm kind of over it at this point because Boom Bloom is more for like early game PvE content. She's not as good for PvP content as people thought. I'm not saying she's bad. I just don't think she's great for defense, more for offense. And she's good really early on, but I don't think she was as good and, you know, kind of lived up to the hype that she got. Now, Ambush, on the other hand, he is a monster in all content, all parts of the game, early, late, doesn't matter. Ambush is the man, or a Kingpin would be really nice. I don't need him because I want to start building Slam Bam, but if I had to pick a legendary right now, it would probably be Ambush or Kingpin because I did pull Amber the other day. So with that being said, let's pull it here and see what we get. Come on, Skylanders, bless us. You haven't been good to us with our legendary skulls. The last 3 that I've done have been dupes. One was Head Rush, I believe, Wildstorm, and Chop Chop. So let's break the curse here and get something special. So with no further ado, let's pop this bad boy and see what we get. Water, Kingpin? Kingpin, I feel it. I think it's Kingpin. I feel it just because I see water. It's going to be my Kingpin. I know it. No, I didn't want to say Tide Pool. I knew it could be Tide Pool, but I didn't want to believe it. They cursed us again. Now, I know Tide Pool isn't that bad. She does get a lot of hate, but she is one of the hardest hitting Skylanders in the game. Again, I would have really have liked a Kingpin or an Ambush. I was hoping the water was going to be Kingpin because I believe there's only 2 legendary water Skylanders in the game. One is Tide Pool, one is Kingpin. Let's just check that out here. And yes, I'm right. There's only 2. So I had a 50-50 chance of getting Tide Pool or Kingpin. And of course, they gave me Tide Pool. No problem though. I'm not really ready to build another legendary right now anyways. So no matter what I pulled, it would have sat on the back burner because right now I'm focusing on Amber. And nothing will change that no matter what Skylander I pull. But I would have really liked a Kingpin over Tide Pool. But that's okay. It is what it is. Free legendary scroll every single month. So 30 days, we'll try again. Thank you guys so much for the continued support. We're still growing so fast here on YouTube, and I cannot thank you guys enough. We're so close to 2.5k subs, and we're going to start another sub celebration giveaway. So keep subbing, keep commenting, keep liking on the videos, and we will get there in no time, and we will get that giveaway up and running. Also, the random giveaway we always have going on here on YouTube. All you have to do is sub to the channel, like, and comment on my past 10 videos, and that will automatically enter you into the random giveaway. If you want to join me on Twitch and Discord, that is linked down below. We do 2 giveaways every single month on Discord. Would love to have you part of them. As always, I love each and every single one of you. I will see you in the next one. Spaceballs out. Peace.